All right. Hello and welcome back to Burn Pile, first episode of 2026. I almost recorded this episode a few days early. I've had a lot of time this week. I had pretty much the whole week off. And so I thought, why not just knock out the episode, on like a Thursday or something? I pretty much had all the stories I wanted. Boy, am I glad I didn't do that. So, for those of you who didn't follow the news, Trump went to Venezuela. Trump, he he fucked the wife of the president of Venezuela, and now he's president of Venezuela. I mean, what he did is, I don't even. I mean, it's like he's done something where even if you were like an anti-war Trump supporter, like I guess I was, because my biggest issue was getting out of Ukraine. I also didn't like our military support for Israel. I very stupidly thought that Trump would get us out of those things. But what he's done now, it's he's done this military operation against Venezuela where it's I mean, so far it's so cool that it's hard not like I want to say like no, that's not we should stay out of it. We should be isolationists. We should but when you open your mouth to say that, you feel like a cuck. Right? Like that's the problem. Even like intellectually, like I think that we should not be at war with anyone. We have these two oceans, we have these natural resources of our own. We have ICBMs. Why do we need to do I know all that intellectually. I still deep down I guess I believe those things, but like when I open my mouth to say those things, it's like I'm opening my mouth to suck a cock. Like I feel so gay in the face of this just about the coolest thing anyone's ever seen. I mean, just it kicks so much ass to do that. Um Now the gay opinion is going to turn out to be right if we actually do have boots on the ground. Uh, so at Trump's press conference yesterday, they asked him, "Are there going to be boots on the ground?" And he's like, "I haven't ruled anything in, haven't ruled anything out." He also said that the vice president of Venezuela, who became the president, already called Rubio and said that she'll do whatever they want. But then I guess she made a speech and said, no, that's not true. We're still independent. We're not going to do whatever they want. So who knows who's lying and who's lying about what? My read on it is probably that they're going to do whatever Trump wants. It seems that way. I mean, if the vice president said no, can't we just kidnap her? I mean, do we just keep going down the line until we get one that we like? It was really, really funny when the whoever it was, the Venezuelan interior minister or whatever, was saying like we're still like we're strong and resolute or something insane like that. Like what a ridiculous thing to say. You're not strong. You're not strong. What do you mean? You got wrecked and your president got taken. Your president and the president's wife got taken, and it took 5 minutes. America didn't lose a single helicopter. We lost no personnel, no helicopter. I mean, if you don't like this on some level, you are a faggot. I mean, I just like yeah, I don't. I hope this is the if this actually is the end, and the Venezuelan president the new one, the vice president who got sworn in, if she actually submits and we just we just get who we want in there and we get everything we want, and the American oil companies go in and they pay for all the development with the oil money. If that actually gets pulled off, if he actually for real pulls that off, that's crazy. I mean, how could you not? It's a little reckless, but if it's really not a forever war, then it's okay. I mean, I don't want to be in Venezuela for 20 years. I don't want, 18-year-olds to sign up and go to Venezuela for 20 years. Although maybe I did. Maybe that's a better life. I mean, maybe they could actually, if they go, they got to get some kind of like homesteading program. It's got to be like, if it is going to be a forever war, and like we're going to have generations of 18-year-old guys signing up to go there, there's got to be some kind of like, you do 2 years there, and you're assigned a Venezuelan wife. You do 4 years, you get a concubine, and then the number of like mixed race children that you make, it's you get like extra benefits for or something, so that in like 20 years we actually have like a big base of American sympathizing halflings. Halflings, not that's what a hobbit is, because they're half the size of a person, not a halfling. As they say in like a John Wayne movie, where there's like mixed Indians and whites, a half breed, I think is what they call them. That's not. I don't think that's a derogatory term either. People could say it's. I think it's a. It's actually, frankly, it's a scientific term. It's just science. There's nothing wrong with them being half breeds, and I'm praising them because they'd have these white fathers. They're loyal to the American cause, right? You get that's what okay. If we're gonna do something cool like that, I could even get behind a forever war if that's what it is, right? If it's um, a mestizo colonization project for all of South America, then I can get behind it. I don't want to get bogged down in a forever war for oil unless it looks like that. If it looks like that, I'm down for it. It's okay. It's all good. But that really was a hell of a thing. It was one of those things. I happened to be looking at my phone like as it happened, and like it was like, oh, explosions happened in South America. There's like explosions in Venezuela was the first thing, and one of them was like, one headline was like, loud noises heard in Caracas. That was the best headline. But when Trump actually like tweeted, it wasn't a tweet. It was he posted on Truth Social. But of course, it got screen capped and shared on X like 30 seconds later. But I was actually like on my phone when that happened, and I was like, now this is it's one of those things where I saw it and I like actually didn't believe it and had to like it wasn't in the New York Times yet, even though they had like a live updating thing. I had to like figure out if it was a real screenshot or if it was a joke. It's one of the things that's so great where it seems like a joke. You go from loud noises heard in Caracas to we kidnapped your president. Oh god, really funny. I mean, apparently Venezuelans love it. I'm in. If you're new to the show or something, I don't live in the United States, but there's another American expat here. One of the only other American expats I know. I know a lot of Western expats, not a lot of American ones. One of the only other expats, he texted me immediately, and we were talking about this. I really didn't have anything intelligent to say or any insight or whatever, but he was texting me a lot about it, and then he said that his friend there had a Venezuelan girlfriend, and she was like super super happy and was saying this was great. Apparently, that's the story going out on the timeline now is the Venezuelan diaspora is thrilled and excited, and I think a lot of Venezuelans in Venezuela are thrilled and happy to be rid of him, and and white lib cucks, which I guess kind of includes me in this. I'm not a lib, but I am a cuck apparently because I wouldn't have wanted this war. Um, this they're all saying this is fucked up. Anyway, I hope it works out. I hope it works out. It was a little too much to hope for. I was hoping because Trump teased the press conference. I actually stayed up late for the press conference because I'm in a weird time zone. The He teased it. He's like, "We're going to talk about it at 11 a.m. Eastern time." I was really, really, really hoping he was going to trot Maduro and his wife out in handcuffs, like a really like Roman emperor kind of scene. And like said they're like consorting with reptiles and you know, declared themselves gods and they're being punished for their hubris, something like that. I mean, that would have been really cool. I could have gotten into that. All right, well, I guess we'll move on to the normal stories I had prepared. I mean, I kind of don't want to. I just want to talk about Venezuela. The problem is I'm retarded. I don't know anything about Venezuela. This American guy I was talking about who messaged me, we had just like a few weeks ago, we had been out at a bar and I did this thing where I have like 8 beers and then I just rant for like 4 hours about retarded stuff. That can give an impression to people like I know a lot more than I do. So I think I kind of let him down because he messaged me about Venezuela. And Venezuela is one of those topics I've been like deliberately like not really reading about because I'm just like, I can't with this. I don't. Who cares? It's whatever. They're like a South American, country is not really a country. It's like a tool for another country. And this is one of those. It's like, is it, are they in China's pocket? Are they in Russia's pocket? Russia's sending over military hardware or blah 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 blah. And like, I don't know. I'm not going to sort it out. So he was like messaging me about it. I think he thought I'd have something intelligent to say. I had nothing. I had absolutely nothing to say. I was like, yeah, bro, it's crazy. And then I don't know. I like change the subject to something I know about, which is a really cringe thing to do. Very immature and very see through. It wasn't that bad. I said something and I related what you know I went on some tangent. I did the podcast in text form. I was like, yeah, but look at this child molestation story. No, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. We're going to do that today, but I didn't do that to him. Okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll move on. Let's see. What story do I want to do first? Okay, let's do the the grok the grok AI thing. Now, you're probably like me and you think that it was really funny and cool when grok uh became Mecha Hitler and tried to rape Will Stancil. And of course, we got the amazing Will Stancil show from that, from Emily Yukis, and absolutely fantastic stuff came out of that. So you thought, well, yeah, Grok is really cringe, but it's worth it. Sometimes it's great. Well, I mean, how many norms do you want your AI to violate? Is the question we have now. This story from CNBC.com. Uh, Musk's XAI faces backlash after Grok generates sexualized images of children on it. um, is it illegal to use AI to make sexualized image? Because like places like Japan, they have full on like pedophile like comic books that are hand drawn, right? And those aren't illegal in they're not illegal in Japan, obviously, where they make them. They're not illegal in the US. I think some states have tried to make them illegal. Um, so AI generated images, I mean, I would think they're probably legal in Japan, probably legal in the US. All right. Um, Elon Musk's XAI saw user backlash after its artificial intelligence chatbot Grok generated sexualized pictures of children in response to user prompts. A Grok reply to one user on X on Friday stated that it was, quote, urgently fixing the issue and called child sexual abuse material illegal and prohibited. Now, here's the problem. Here's the problem with this article. It doesn't show the images. I mean, these aren't real children. We've got to kind of see. We got to see the AI images. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. In replies to users, the bot also posted that a company could face criminal or civil penalties if it knowingly facilitates or fails to prevent this type of content being alerted. Yeah, I don't know. It depends on where they are in the world. Grok posts are AI generated messages and do not stand in for official company statements. Musk's XAI, which created Grok and merged with X last year, sent an auto reply to a request for comment. Legacy media lies. Musk said today, like, yeah, we got to fix this. Users on X raised concerns in recent days over explicit content of minors, including children wearing minimal clothing, being generated using the Grok tool. The social media site added an edit image button to photos that allows any user to alter it using text prompts and without the original poster's consent. Yeah, so I believe what was happening, if I've got the story right, they're not really saying it here yet. The people were posting like, so you post like a photo of like your 6-year-old wearing like a dress or something, like something normal, just like a day at the park, nothing weird, and someone would like reply like, put the 6-year-old in like a micro bikini or something, and Grok would do it. Which is unbelievably fucked up, and that probably does violate something because it's like a real kid, right? If it was just purely, if you were like add an image prompt or just add a text prompt rather, and you just typed in like Grok generate like a 12-year-old in a micro bikini, that I don't know if that would be, that's the case where it's like definitely not illegal in Japan, definitely not illegal in the US, probably violates some terms of service and isn't a good thing to do. But the whole thing where it's like little kids, little real kids in real photos, and Grok's just editing the real photo, that probably is super illegal somehow. I'm not sure how, but don't get me wrong. I think regardless of what's legal and illegal, everybody who does this should rot in hell. They should just be killed. Obviously, I think that goes without saying. Um, but yeah, this is really fucked. This is quite bad. See if they have anything interesting to say in this article. On Friday, government officials in India and France released statements promising to look into the matter. Those are the two most sexually degenerate countries on Earth. Why are those? They're trying to overcompensate here. France's president was groomed by a 35-year-old lady when he was 16. And that lady is now the first lady. And she has a dick. And she beats the shit out of him. Apparently. I don't really watch Candace Owens. I haven't followed that. The problem with what Candace Owens says about Macron and his wife is that the story as it is so degenerate and disgusting and weird that like adding more to it, like making it more disgusting, is kind of like, what it's like? It's like when it's like you see a group of guys, like a group of young guys, like joking around, and like one of the guys calls the other guy like, yeah, it's like trying to assert dominance, like especially if women are around, we're like, yeah, I bet you like that, you fucking faggot, right? And the guys are kind of like friends, but like they say this like especially in front of women or other groups of guys, and it's like, yeah, I bet you like that, you fucking faggot. And then the guy, instead of saying you're the faggot, which would be lame, he goes, yeah, I do, big boy, let me suck your cock. And then he like winks at him or something, and then he like kind of scoffs and like where it's he like controls and elevates the thing, and in that way he controls it. He's now dominant. He doesn't look bad. He shows that he was completely unafraid of the other guy. That's what the Macron thing with like she has a dick. That's what that is. Where it's like, hey, you were basically abused. You were like a teenager and you got like a person in a position of authority over you, your drama teacher, had sex with you. Uh, that's crazy. And then he's like, "Oh yeah, I was abused. My 35-year-old drama teacher had sex with me when I was 16." Uh, yeah, she's actually a man. She has a dick too. It's like it's just a weird thing. It's almost like Candace Owens is like running cover for him because and now they're trying to prove that she like doesn't have a dick. She had like medical records or something. I don't know. I can't follow it. I can't care about that. I just it's like Venezuela before yesterday. I can't care about it. I've got to push it out of my mind. It just can't be there. I've got nothing. All right. The proliferation of AI image generating platforms since the launch of ChatGPT in 2022 has raised concerns over content manipulation and online safety across the board. What are you talking about? It's also contributed to an increasing number of platforms that have produced deep fake nudes of actual people. Okay, deep fake nudes of actual people, not children, obviously, but regular people are no big deal. They're really, really not. Like doing deep fakes of like a celebrity, putting a celebrity's face on like a porn actress, it doesn't matter and it's not a big deal. We don't need to go to the fucking UN about that. It's the same as if I took a picture of a celebrity, right? Let's say like I get like Vogue and there's a celebrity's face that I like, a female celebrity. I cut out her face. And then I open up a Playboy, or even like a Penthouse or something. And there's a sex scene with an actress with like a similar skin tone or something. And I take out some paste and I paste on that head onto the body of the woman getting fucked in Penthouse. Right? Should that be illegal? Because that's all the deep fake is. It's just doing that like 10,000 times. Like imagine the guy who does that then makes like a flip book of Penthouse somehow. That's all it is. Like it's not oh, but people could get tricked. Yeah, I don't think people think some like Hollywood starlet is doing like hardcore porn suddenly. I think everybody knows as soon as they see it it's a deep fake. If anything, it gives like cover for like actual leaked sex tapes. You can just be like, that was all a deep fake. If anything, if I was like a starlet and I was concerned that like a video of me was going to be released, I would have my people start flooding the internet with like very similar deep fakes to like the situation that I was actually in. And then when it comes out, nobody will care. You just say it was all fake. Right? So that this whole like deep fake thing, like, yeah, if somebody took a photo of me on the street and then they cut out the head and pasted it onto a guy getting fucked in the ass in like some kind of hardcore gay porn magazine, yeah, I wouldn't like it. But we don't need to go to the UN about it either. And that's all that a deep fake is. Because that's what you bring up deep fakes. I've had this conversation with women where they're like, I'm in a country where the deep fake issue is like really sensitive and like a really huge deal. And they're like, women are going to kill themselves if this happens. And I'm like, it's not, nobody care. It's not a big deal. It's not that big a deal. It kind of sucks. And they're like, yeah, what if it was you getting fucked by a man? That's what they said to me. I'm like, yeah, I understand that. Like, I already ran that. I ran the experiment in my brain to see if this was good or bad. And that's the first thing I thought. Like, it sucks. It's not that bad. This is that bad. Having Grok take your photos of your children and turn them into CP. That is that bad. This is what we actually need to have the UN make a resolution about. This is fucked up. This is really that bad. The deep fakes are not. Don't mix the two up. David Thiel, a trust and safety researcher who was part of the now disbanded Stanford Internet Observatory, told CNBC that different U.S. laws generally prohibit the creation and distribution of certain explicit images, including those depicting child sexual abuse, or non-consensual intimate images. David Teal, I wonder if he's related to our friend Peter. Okay. Well, and then at the bottom is talking about X, it's talking about Grok mentioning white genocide in South Africa and how that's just as bad. The real child porn is political ideas I don't agree with. That's what the end of the CNBC article says. Thank you, CNBC. Great reporting, as always. See, the Elon simps are insufferable, and people who make excuses for this, they really do suck. So, like, people who clearly hate Elon, they are going to be a good perspective to have when something this fucked up happens. But you do have to read with a critical eye. That's why I'm here to guide you, dear listener. All right, let's go on here. Excuse me. Let's go on here. Next story. Have you heard of this Piper Rockelle? This lady Piper Rockelle. So I had heard of her before because there was a big long form New York Times article. I think it was about her. Maybe it was about someone in a similar situation. But basically, like, there are these kind of pretty girls who are underage who are kind of essentially pimped out by their parents. Like, there's no other way to describe it. I guess there was a Netflix documentary about this girl. I didn't watch it either. But the parents put them on like legal platforms. Like, you have like a 15-year-old daughter and you have her on like Instagram, and she's like a quote model, and she's modeling like normal clothes, and then like 99% of the followers are are like middle-aged men, right? Which is why a normal person doesn't even want their daughter on Instagram at all, but might tolerate it, but certainly is not going to be like promoting the account and like trying to monetize it and trying to get rich off of this, right? Because that's insane. So this girl Piper, it says YouTube child star. I never heard of her, but she turned 18. The minute she turned 18, the first 24 hours, she made $3.4 million on OnlyFans. She claims she broke the record by earning $1 million in less than an hour. All right, so let's just read here. A child YouTube star has revealed the eye-watering sum she earned within 24 hours of joining OnlyFans, not long after turning 18. Piper Rockelle has been appearing in YouTube videos from the age of just 8 years old. That... God! That sucks. Growing a following of more than 12 million subscribers. The 18-year-old, who also boasts 18 million followers on TikTok and 6.6 million on Instagram, launched her OnlyFans account on New Year's Day and later claimed she had broke the record by earning $1 million in less than an hour. According to a screenshot shared to social media, she earned a total of $3.4 million in the first 24 hours. "You guys are the best. Thank you for changing my life," she wrote in a post which has since been removed from X. Hey, couldn't we just... Do you really need to pay her $3.4 million? I mean, couldn't we just take the videos that she's already made and the photos and everything, all that content, and just put it on X and then let Grok do its work? What's offensive about this is her making all this money. Am I right, guys? I mean, we should be able to just get a premium X account and then just have Grok make all the photos you want. See, now this is what, ladbible.com. I don't know what this is. Probably some Indian horse shit, AI generated articles or something. But they have the good sense to put a photo of her in tight leggings so you can see her ass at the farmer's market. which I assume this photo was taken after she was 18, but who knows? All right, let's read here. After sharing the numbers, many people accused her of faking them, while others suggested it was disturbing so many people had subscribed to her channel as soon as she came of age. And saying that she's faking is a hilarious reaction to this. Saying she's faking, seeing those numbers and not being in the horrified camp, but being in the she's cooking those numbers camp. She's that fuck her. She's cooking those numbers. There's no way she made 3.4 million. Being in that camp and that being your first reaction, that's funny. Come on. That is funny. Hey, if anybody out there, so they said she started at 8. If anybody out there's got an 8-year-old daughter, I mean, the time to make a YouTube channel is now. If you want that big multi-million-dollar payoff when she turns 18 in 10 years, you want that retirement plan, the time to start a family YouTube channel, it's right now. Okay? Remember that. Extremely disturbing folk that watch child YouTubers and spend money on OnlyFans subs as soon as they turn legal age, well, one wrote, while another added, "You're a victim of predatory capitalism. Oh, this moral evil that's happening. It's actually connected to my political beliefs." Isn't that what CNBC said at the end? Grok, the evil AI that's making CP, it also says that South African white people are facing problems, which is bullshit. Only black people face problems. Everything that's bad is a part of the ideology called badism, which I'm against. My ideology is goodism, and everything that's good is what I support. It's in goodism. This isn't the first time Piper and her family have been shrouded in controversy. There was it goes on to describe this Netflix documentary. There was also Tiffany launched The Squad in 2017, where she enlisted a number of aspiring child stars to appear in their YouTube content. The tweens were involved in various storylines and vlog-style content on Piper's YouTube channel, and eventually some of them moved in with the family to boost their content output. Since then, 11 members of the squad have filed a lawsuit against the momager, claiming exploitation and frequently subjected to an emotionally, physically, and sometimes sexually abusive environment perpetrated by Piper's mom. At the time, Piper was said to be making around $500,000 a month from her YouTube channel, while the other members of the group would be working without meal and rest breaks and without on-set schooling. Well, there's some more stuff in there. I don't really want to read it. It's grosser. But anyway, I'm going to... Hey, if you sub to this OnlyFans, go ahead and let me know in the comments section if it's worth it. Now, I will say that when I hit the stop record button on this podcast and I go sub to this OnlyFans, it's going to be totally different because I never saw any of your videos when she was a child star. So for me, it's normal. I didn't do anything wrong. It's you who are wrong. You're a little fucked up if you do it. Now, when I go do it, it's totally different. I'm not going to look at any of her earlier videos. I don't want to see any of her childhood photos. Nothing like that. I'm just going in for the 18-year-old. I'm just doing that. So no one can get mad at me. All right. Well, let's continue on, shall we? What else happened this week? Yeah. Will Smith. So Will Smith, he had a bit of a tough year last year. He released a song. If you didn't catch the episode where I covered this, Will Smith released a song. The title of the song was "I'm Heterosexual." and it was Will Smith and a bunch of ugly women that he was pretending to be attracted to, and he was like awkwardly dancing, and I think he was like really in the music video he was really small, and the women were like kind of manipulating and toying with. It was one of the least heterosexual things I think I've ever seen. It was the actual title of the video, it was I Like Pretty Girls is what it was called. And that he sings over and over again. It's the chorus. He's like, I like pretty girls. And then the echo goes, girls, 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 girls. But the title might as well have been I'm heterosexual. That's what the actual title was. That's what he was trying to get across. And it's kind of like it's like they say, like, by the time you're at the point where you have to say I'm not crazy, you've already lost, right? You're saying that because you've made people think that you're crazy. So you never want to get to the point where you have to say I'm not crazy. It's the same with being straight. You're never at the point you should never be at the point where you need to say that you're straight, right? Most people are sane, most people are heterosexual. You should never really be in a situation where you need to say that you're heterosexual. By the time you're in that situation, you probably are gay, right? So when he made that song, I Like Pretty Girls, it was kind of like, I don't know who's around him, who advises him. Rough situation over there. I don't follow black celebrities like I should. I should be following them. This should be a podcast. I should make a second podcast where I just listen to all the black podcasts and I follow black celebrities. Everything I see from there does seem like a lot of fun. It seems like way cooler and way more fun than everything that I'm into, actually. But this one's seeped over into my wheelhouse. Just Will Smith, the heterosexuality song. And the headline from this week, people.com, Will Smith sued by violinist Brian King Joseph for sexual harassment. Now, you might have noticed there, uh, really, really, really sharp-eared listeners may have noticed Brian King Joseph is a male name. Hey, wait a second. Wait a second. That's a man's name, Will. So you might be thinking, how could a heterosexual recording artist and actor Will Smith be accused of sexual harassment by a man? That doesn't make sense. His song said he liked pretty girls. It's I don't know. I don't know. How could it be? Who's to say? Who's to say what happened? God knows. Let's read this. Maybe people knows too. A musician is suing Will Smith and his company for sexual harassment, alleging wrongful termination and retaliation. Professional violinist Brian King Joseph filed a complaint at the Superior Court of California County of Los Angeles on Tuesday, December 30th, against the Bad Boy star, 57, and Trey Ball Studios Management Incorporated. Will Smith is 57. That sucks. 57 is a terrible age for him. It's because it's too young. He's too close to the youthful guy that you knew, and he's trading on his youthful charisma. That was his whole career. So at some point when he's like, in his 60s, around 70, he could kind of be cool again. Like you'll see him, he could take like completely different roles than what he used to take. He could do something really, really cool. I watched King Richard. Don't tell me he did King Richard and that King Richard was okay. All right. Don't come at me with King Richard. I watched King Richard. Okay. I'm not a rube. He was okay in King Richard. He certainly didn't deserve an Academy Award for it. But I mean, where he's at now, he's in this dead zone, of being in his 50s. He's really got to get closer to 70 before he's going to have anything cool. He needs to go dark for 20 years come back in his like mid 70s and have some really unexpected, you know, like, small part in some movie, and everybody, oh my God, it's Will Smith. That's so cool. Where he's at now, it's sucks. Just sucks where he's at. 57. Terrible age for him. Okay. The complaint claims that Smith was deliberately grooming and priming Mr. Joseph for further sexual exploitation after inviting Joseph to join his global tour based on a true story 2025 in November 2024. Now, you might be saying, Wizard Cat, this is boring. Why did you choose this story just because it's Will Smith? No, you got to listen to this. Even if this was not Will Smith, I would do this story because this is hilarious. You've got to hear how you're thinking, how did he sexually harass him? Did he grab his ass? Did he say, if you want to be on the tour, you got to suck my dick? This is unbelievable what actually happened, and it's completely worth it. It details an alleged, quote, traumatic series of events in March 2025 amid Smith's tour, in which Joseph claims that he discovered that someone had entered his Las Vegas hotel room with no signs of forced entry. Evidence of a sexual threat of violence allegedly included a handwritten note reading, quote, Brian, I'll be back, just us, with a drawn heart and signed, quote, Stone F. As well as, now listen to this. Now, guess what came with the note? Everybody guess what came with the note, okay? I'm going to give you a second. Think about it. Guess what's along with the note. There's a few items along with the note, okay? Get them in your head. Guess. Think what's along with the note. It's not what you think. Along with the note, it's wipes. Okay, some of you might have got wipes. You might get wipes. All right. A beer bottle. Okay. Somebody might say, hey, yeah, maybe some wipes, condoms, some alcohol. Yeah, you're on the right track. Okay. Some of you might have it. Okay. A red backpack. That's a specific detail, but okay. A bottle of HIV medication. A bottle of HIV medication with another individual's name, an earring, and hospital discharge paperwork belonging to a person unbeknownst to Joseph. Is this a thing that gay guys do? Is this a thing in the gay community when you're seducing someone that you suggestively leave a bottle of HIV medication? Is that like a woman leaving like a perfumed like handkerchief or something? I don't know. I'm not sure. Will Smith knows. God, that's funny. Leaving HIV medication, entering a guy's hotel room, and leaving a bottle of HIV medication and writing like, I'll be back later. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Joseph alleges he feared that an unknown individual would soon return to his room and engage in sexual acts with him, according to the complaint. Yeah, I'd be kind of worried about that. I think I would just call the police and then I'd call the hotel. And then I would change hotels for sure. I'd file a police report. I'd tell the hotel everything that happened, and then I would go to another hotel room. I hope that's what he did. Also, if there was any indication that this was my boss, I'd be off the tour. Quote, Mr. Joseph's allegations concerning my client are false, baseless, and reckless. Alan B. Grotsky, an attorney for Smith, told People in a statement on January 1st, they're categorically denied, and we will use all legal means available to address these claims and to ensure that the truth is brought to light. That's what Will Smith is about. He's about the truth. All right. Well, let's move on. I mean, you get it. You get what's going on here, right? This is, by the way, that I would have done 45 minutes on that story if it weren't for Venezuela. That's the episode you would have gotten if I actually recorded on Thursday. But I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad we don't just have we actually have a world event instead of me just talking about Will Smith having gay sex with some guy. Okay. All right, let's go on here. Let's go to Mother Jones. Mother Jones. Now, Mother Jones fucking sucks my ass. And everybody knows that Mother Jones sucks. Everybody knows that. I had an English teacher when I was in high school, and I guess he liked me because I was reading some books independently. So and I was just being a cringe 14-year-old faggot in lots of ways. But he was nice. He was really nice, and he wanted to be like a teacher who was liked and cool. So he lent me a copy of Mother Jones to read some like horse shit anti-war on terror, anti George W. Bush article. And he didn't realize that, like, yeah, I'm independently reading books. I'm also spending like, multiple hours a week listening to like Rush Limbaugh and Glenn Beck. Like, I'm retarded. Like, I'm reading books, but I'm retarded. I'm an idiot. So he gives me this Mother Jones thing, and I read it and I get it back to him, and he's like, what did you think? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know, it's a little too left wing for me. And I could see his like eyes go. He's like, I thought every intelligent person in the world was left wing. Which he was right, because I was retarded. But he didn't realize I had the politics of the kids who are wearing like camo to school. I had their politics. I was just gayer than them. I was just a faggot who read books. But I was more retarded than they were, truly. That was my experience with Mother Jones, and ever since then, I've kept the same opinion. Mother Jones does suck my ass. Now, I probably would today agree with that anti-George W. Bush article, and they probably were pretty good at that time. But if you think, well, you need to show some growth here and say that Mother Jones is actually good. No. Even though I was wrong then, I was still right. And the article I'm going to read from December 29th proves it. So here we go. This is motherjones.com. This is from 2025. This is December 29th, 2025. This isn't some like something I dredged up from the COVID era and I'm bringing it up now during that insanity. This was written a few days ago. Okay. This is an actual headline. Hey, Jon Stewart, jokes about wearing masks aren't funny. And of course, the writer here is a woman, Julia Mitral. Critics of the host say he's a hypocrite. Now, I don't like Jon Stewart either. I'm still, even though I don't like Rush Limbaugh anymore, just someone who grew up listening to Rush Limbaugh can never like Jon Stewart. That's the rules. That's the way it is. Okay? The cool kids listen to Jon Stewart. The retards like me were reading Moby Dick and listening to Rush Limbaugh and developing an eccentric view of the world. Okay, let's get into this. Over the weekend, COVID-cautious individuals shared clips on social media of Jon Stewart punching down on people who are masked. Punching down. punching down on people who are masking, who are presumably doing so to protect themselves from COVID, the flu, and other infectious diseases that are spreading across the United States. On the December 11th episode of the podcast, The Weekly Show with Jon Stewart, guest Tim Miller of The Bulwark said there have to be at least 2 people at fellow guest Jon Favreau's workplace wearing masks because it's a progressive organization. Stewart responded, "There's always 2, and you always say, 'Oh, are you sick?' And they go, I don't want to talk about it." That's all he said. That's the joke that this whole article is written about. He's like not even mean to them. He's just pointing out that it's eccentric behavior. And this whole article gets written about this. Now, this phrase, punching down. Do you remember? I think it was Terry Gross had something that happened. I might be misremembering this. I believe it was Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart was set to do like the Oscars or the Emmys or something, set to host. And then they started playing clips of his anti-gay material from years before that. And he got like canceled for it. And then he had to apologize, and he went on Terry Gross on NPR. And Terry Gross started telling him, like, listen, what comedy is you have to punch up. You can't punch down. So Terry Gross is like, she's lecturing like an extremely talented, extremely famous, successful comedian about what comedy is. It's like every white woman who's ever lived has the fantasy of being in the movie where they're the school teacher, the white female school teacher who believes in the kids and goes to the black school and teaches them better. Because they have no theory of mind, they have no belief that the black kids are actually different than them and live different lives and do their own thing. They're just, if they just got educated. So she starts doing that horse shit to Kevin Hart. It's actually infuriating. It's maddening that she did that. But I remember this because I think I was already in this country. If I wasn't, I was about to come. And I was sitting in a bar owned by this Canadian guy that was filled with like other expats. And this obese land whale, blue-haired white lady, piece of shit, at this bar on the other side of the world, started talking about how comedy is about punching up and it can't be about punching down. And it was so infuriating to me. Like, these people actually do wander around, and they actually do have like a powerful voice that affects the culture in like very, very negative ways. And I mean, you can say it's all over now, and like you can be like, well, you can't, you can end up, because listen, guys like me can end up sounding like Joe Rogan, making like when he did that unbelievably unfunny, ridiculous, retarded comedy special in 2025, where he's like still talking about trans stuff. And it's like, it's all over. I know that's what I sound like right now. You're like, yeah, you're talking about a story from 10 years ago. Nobody thinks that now. But here's the problem. Yes, they fucking do. Look at this Mother Jones article. I mean, I don't know if Mother Jones is doing well or not, but they're still producing these humorless, disgusting foids who write shit like this and believe it. Like, they're just lurking in the corner, licking their wounds to get power again. So you do have to sometimes remind people that they exist and that they suck ass and that they should have no power and have no say in anything and shouldn't be allowed to vote and should really be. No, that even if you say something as a joke, I think you can get taken off YouTube. They should really be, and then you fill in the blank. Of course, I was going to say they should be loved and they should be taught the words of Christ and they should convert to Christianity. All right, I guess I'll read a little bit more of the rage bait here. First of all, asking people why they are masking is invasive behavior. It's not. No one randomly owes you information about their health, their loved one's health, or, understandably, just wanting to avoid COVID, which is the only way to prevent long COVID. As I've also previously reported, disabled people in New York's Nassau County have reported being harassed after the county passed a mask ban. Cancer patients have also told their stories of being questioned about why they're masking. Even before you get it. The tone of this, who this person is, just one of the worst people on earth. So even this actually, when I read stuff like this, I'm like, you know what? George W. Bush was right about the war on terror. Actually, it kicked ass. We should do another 20 years of it. We should go back to Afghanistan. When I read this in Mother Jones, I'm like, actually, I was right at 14, and Rush Limbaugh was right, and Glenn Beck was right, and we got to go back to Afghanistan. We're going back to Afghanistan, actually. If we're going to talk about the masks are fine to wear, and if you make even if you're a normal left-wing, normie guy like Jon Stewart, and you have a little non-joke, just a little cute, funny thing you say on a podcast about how masking is a little eccentric, you're a bad guy and you get a whole article written about you. You know what? We're going to rock the Casbah again. We're going back to Afghanistan. This sucks so much. Hey, maybe Trump knew that I was going to read this article and he was like, listen, Wizard Cat, I can't give you Afghanistan, but hey, what about Venezuela? What about going down to South America? What do you say? All right, let's move on. Let's see. I got this really long form article. I'm not going to do that now. What else is good? Oh, okay. Let's go to New Mexico now. Racehorse tests positive for meth. Trainer challenges suspension. Albuquerque, New Mexico. A racehorse named Jay's on Fire tested positive for methamphetamine after finishing second in a race at the American Quarter Horse Association Racing Challenge last fall, resulting in the suspension of its trainer, Michael Joyner, by the New Mexico Racing Commission. Billy Blackburn, Joyner's attorney, said the New Mexico Racing Commission suspended him immediately without a hearing. Jay's on Fire tested positive for 0.485 nanograms of methamphetamine, which Blackburn described as very, very, very small and invisible to see with the naked eye. Yeah, I mean, if you're doing a blood test or a urine test or whatever, I think all of it's invisible to the naked eye, right? Like, you don't get like a blood test and they pull a tube of your blood and the doctor like holds the vial up to like the light, looks at it for a minute, and he's like, "Yep, you're positive for marijuana." It's all invisible to the naked eye. What does that mean? So Joyner's attorney said it's invisible to the naked eye. That's funny. I mean, I don't know. Just I thought I liked this one. Someone sent me this one to do on the pod, and horse methamphetamine. That's funny. I don't know. I thought it was funny. Do you think that sucks ass? A horse on meth? Come on. Come on, folks. They can't all be winners. It's a horse on meth. Folks, they can't. Not every story is going to be about a beloved Hollywood star from your childhood leaving a bottle of HIV medication on a violinist's desk to try to seduce him. Not every story is going to be that. Not every story is going to be about a child star doing porn. Not every story is going to be about a demonic AI that makes that takes your children's photos and turns them into CSAM. Some stories are about horses on meth. Some stories are a guy goes out. Where do you think he gets the meth? Does he go out on the street and he buys like street meth? And then he hits his horse. What if, God, that it would suck so much if you're trying to make some money off this horse. You give it meth so it'll do better, but you fuck up and you give it fent and it just dies. God, that would suck, huh? That would be unfortunate. All right, everybody. That's the first episode of 2026. Thank you for listening. Remember, you can listen to a bonus episode every week at burnpile.vip. That's a website, burnpile.vip. You go there, sign up $5 a month. You get a bonus episode every week. All right. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.